I was sick to my stomach because, first of all, I didn't understand, he's a 5-year-old, he's a child.
Summery Putnam says she received a call from her son's teacher at East Ridge Elementary about 2 weeks ago.
The teacher called me and she said, you need to have a talk with Nathan about boundaries.
Putnam's son, Nathan, is 5 years old. She says he has autism, making it difficult for him to understand social cues.
If you don't understand how autism works, you'll think he's acting out or being defiant, but that's not the situation.
Putnam says the teacher said Nathan was overstepping boundaries. She says the teacher accused her son of sexual activities after she was told he hugged a child and kissed another child on the cheek.
He shouldn't be treated like this.
5 years old, charged with sexual harassment. And there are more cases similar to that. And I played that as an example to those who think that this is just YouTube. I played that clip as an example of the climate in this country. That boy, same thing going on in high schools and college campuses, classifying any and everything as sexual harassment and or rape. One of the aims being to categorize all males, whether man or boy, as predators, potential rapists. That game, that part of war, the propaganda section of warfare is being conducted right here on social media. This is not just YouTube. Now, the pimps and hoe genre on here, right? And yes, they have their own sector. It is just as drama-filled as the other genres on here. Atheist versus theist, sports genre, gender war genre, celebrity gossip genre on here, the chitlin circuit genre. Pimps and hoes, they got their own genre, and they be doxing and calling the authorities on each other, flagging, beefing back and forth for years, and all else these other genres do. But let's look at this pimp here. His name is Johnny Cash.
Now, who the fuck told you to talk when grown folks talking, nigga? Who the fuck gave you permission to open your mouth and speak on X, Y, and Z about a reputable, respected motherfucking pimp like Johnny Cash, nigga? Just shut the fuck up when grown folks talking, boy. You ain't got the ground to say nothing. You ought to go up under the nearest rock and hide, nigga. Be ashamed of yourself. Because if it had been my 13-year-old daughter, nigga, I would have killed you, nigga. I would have blew your motherfucking shit out, nigga. Your opinion don't matter when it comes to the GOAT, nigga. Period. What the fuck you got? You ain't talking about shit, nigga. And I mean that. Go get you some business, nigga. Go get you some real business. Clean that shit up what you did with that baby, nigga. So the first thing, see the difference between me and him, when I see a bitch, I see dollars. When he see a bitch, he see a good time. And that's, to me, that's a trick. A big one at that. Nigga, I said it. You a trick with a capital motherfucking T. Ain't no pimping with you. Ain't no pimping gonna be with you, nigga. Period. You can hang any kind of title. You can rhyme, talk, good talk. But hey, in the pimp and hoe community, you are not respected. And keep my name out your mouth, nigga. Don't make me the topic of discussion, nigga. Because guess what? I'm not moving under no game rules or none of that shit anymore. I'm a man that's standing on his own 2 feet, that's taking care of his responsibilities, that's minding his business, and doing what the fuck he got to do to feed his family. So keep my name out your mouth. Don't make me the topic of your discussions. If you want to talk to me, nigga, let's meet up and talk like men. Period. Are you even taking care of that seed, nigga? Because last time I checked, nigga, you was still in denial about it after the judge told your stupid ass in open court, hey, man, we got the paperwork. There's no way a baby could be made without 2 consensual adults fucking. Hey, man, here you go the paperwork, X, Y, and Z right here, man. We took your DNA, we took this girl. You made a baby with this woman, man. Here you go the papers. You want the papers, man? In open court, and your dumb ass still. Well, hey, y'all know, the judge had to tell you, man, stop it. Are you stupid? You fathered a child with this woman, this young girl. And how you avoided to get around not being a registered sex offender is beyond me. How you walked away from that, with just a slap on the wrist is beyond me.
That's a good question. We'll take a look at that today because that's a question that is paid no never mind to. How are you not a registered sex offender? That's a good question. Johnny Cash was talking to Sinful the P right there. Right? They've been having some problems, for a few years now, I think.
You understand that if you were granted parole, it would just be to your consecutive sentence and not to the streets?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Would you please look at the screen and tell us whether or not that is your name attached to that notice of hearing form?
My vision is not as clear as it's supposed to be. You said above?
You see a form there on the screen?
Yes, I see it. I see Philip Gilmore.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that your signature attached?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay, then thank you. For the record, the notice of this meeting and advisement of rights was properly executed and will therefore continue with this hearing. What we're doing, Mr. Gilmore, is we're trying to determine whether or not you are a good candidate to be paroled to your consecutive sentence.
This is a parole hearing of one Sinful to P. And I tried to fix the audio of the parole lady, but my adjustments just made it worse. But Sinful can be heard clearly, but her audio is terrible, so I'll just have to tell you what she said after I play it for you. And the link to it will be in the description box so you can go hear it for yourself. But like I said, this is a parole hearing, and I have had my day sitting right where he's sitting. But to whoever don't know, Sinful is a pimp, and a long while back he got himself caught up with a minor. He even got her pregnant. But she was also one of his whores. But you heard Johnny ask the real question. Pimping out a minor and got her pregnant, but not a registered sex offender. How does that happen?
And how you avoided to get around not being a registered sex offender is beyond me. How you walked away from that, with just a slap on the wrist is beyond me.
That's a good question, but I got the answer. It's easy. All right, we'll take a look at that answer. Now, too many clowns on here just loves to call this man a pedophile, a rapist, and a child molester. And I'll tell you today that he's not, even though he did what he did. And Johnny Cash is not the only one that's asked that question, and there's an answer to it.
Please state your name and your NDOC number for the board.
My name is Philip Gilmore, and 103-6381.
Thank you, Mr. Gilmore. I'm hearing Representative Thomas, and beside me here is Commissioner Keeler. And we are the panel designated to consider you for parole in reference to criminal case number 244542, wherein you were convicted of pandering and living from earnings of prostitute. In reference to the pandering charge, you were sentenced to 18 months to 48 months confinement. Your parole eligibility date is March 14, 2009, and your projected expiration date is July 9, 2010. You have a consecutive sentence pending, which is 12 to 32 months, and that's for the living from earnings of prostitute. Is that your understanding of the dates and the charges?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
The audio, ain't nothing I can do about it. But that was the first 60 seconds of that hearing, and you heard her read his charges, but not a single word about child molestation. Charged with living off the earnings of prostitutes, though. That's what she said. There were several women involved, and you'll hear about them later, but you convicts, however few of you will hear this video, and you had your turn here sitting in the seat that Sinful sitting in, you know like I know that they will start off by reading every charge that put you in that seat. That was a good question from Johnny, but the answer is easy to give. Maybe, you know what? Maybe Sinful not a registered sex offender because he's actually a rich white man named Brock Turner who was attending Stanford University and had a promising future. So they only gave him probation after raping somebody. Could that be the answer? No, that couldn't be the answer. That couldn't be the answer either because even Brock still had to register as a sex offender. So what happened was sinful? That's a good question.
To find the only one that we know about. Okay. You know, you told a little, I don't know, like a wraparound story, you know. I don't know if there's any truth in there anywhere, but you did come out finally, and I guess you did, yeah, you did say some truth. You did say that you were pandering. But that was after trying to sugarcoat it and, you know, go around the barn and, and circumvent the truth. But that's okay. All right. We know what happened. You know what happened. You just confessed to it. That's good. You've been convicted of it. All right. You never did mention what your feelings are about that offense. And I'm wondering, I'm curious. You said you came from a religious background, and I'm sure a part of your religion didn't teach you that it was okay to go out and try to live off the earnings of a victim, a young girl in this case. 14 is what the police report indicates, and they also indicate there were a couple other young women, and none of them were adult. There's one that was possibly 19. One that was possibly 19 who was later determined to be 16. Okay.
Ma'am, that's incorrect. The lady Nicole Morton, she's 19, and the lady Jennifer Harper is 23 years old. The lady Lakeisha Jordan, which was the alleged victim in the case, which basically we found out later on that she was 14, had lied about her age and confessed within the motion of discovery that she had told me that she was 19, and there's also corroborative statements other than just my mouth from Nicole Morton and Jennifer Harper, which she stated even in sentencing that the lady, that Lakeisha Jordan had lied about her age. Like I said before, not to justify anything, because pandering, that's what I did.
Right.
I did entice.
Okay. Right.
The lady even lied and forced other adults into being underage girls, trying hard to turn them into a predator, didn't she? But why would she need to do that if she already got a legitimate minor? I tell you why. It's for the same reason you got people on here just throwing molester jackets on dudes at random, and just because it's the thing to do. She even went so far as to tell the bold-faced lie that none of the females were adults. You heard her. That's why you heard Sinful citing the ages of the ladies. Now, the audio is real bad, but, you know, go back and hear it yourself. And that clip that you just heard was from 6 minutes, 17 seconds to 8 minutes, 4 seconds. This is the climate on social media, just forcing rape jackets on people at any and all cost, and just because you can. But listen, I need you to listen. Here's what you ain't gonna do at a parole hearing and get away with it. You're not gonna go in there and say, whoa, 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 hold on, slow down. You are incorrect, lady. That's what you ain't gonna do. But you saw Sinful do it, and you heard not a word from the lady to contest him correcting her. You can't deny your charges in no parole hearing. They'll tell you right then and there, this hearing is over. Get out my face. You stand in jail, bitch. Bye.
Other than just my mouth, from Nicole Morton and Jennifer Harper, which she stated even in sentencing that the lady, that Lakeisha Jordan had lied about her age. Like I said before, not to justify anything, because pandering, that's what I did.
Right.
I did entice.
Okay. Right. But why would I believe you know, why would I believe that what you just said was accurate? But that's not that's part of the point, the fact that the victims are so young. But the main point here is that you're pandering.
Well,
you're
that is the
main to obtain money instead of getting a legitimate job.
The main point is that you were pandering. That wasn't the main point at first she was trying to make, but the main point is you were pandering. That's what she said after Sinful installed some get right into her after that humongous lie she tried to tell. After that pimp hand being placed upon her face, she went from the girls were underage to the girls were so young. Again, you ain't finna go in no parole hearing and tell them that they're wrong and get away with it. They're not going to accept that, like you heard the lady. And even the dude at the table sitting next to her, he didn't say nothing either. Why? Think about that. Think about it. That would mean that there were 3 underage girls, but he'd not be charged and convicted of statutory rape on none of them? None. Is Sinful that spectacular as he says he is? And we all know how he loves to talk about how fabulous he is.
I'm one of the baddest motherfuckers of all time. One of the best singers, one of the best looking motherfuckers you've ever seen. Hold my drink, bitch.
Seriously. Sinful would have to be up there on the level of an Ed Buck. Filthy rich, buying male prostitutes. One died in that man's apartment. No arrest. It had to happen again, a second dead body, before they arrested them. Is Sinful that great?
Right, but why would I believe why would I believe that what you just said was accurate? But that's part of the point, the fact that the victims are so young. But the main point here is that you're pandering.
Well,
You're
that is
using
the main.
people to obtain money instead of getting a legitimate job. Okay?
Well, okay.
And I'm wondering how you feel about that now.
Well, currently right now, I apologize to God about it, and I apologize to my family. I come from a prestigious background. Everybody within my family has protocol within the church, so of course I apologize to my grandmother, which is alumni at Wilberforce and things like that, and I apologize to God.
Let's focus on
You go into a parole hearing and confess and express regret. That's what you do. I know that's what I did. And that's what we all do when we sat in that seat. But the thing is to just keep saying that Sinful seeks out children. Just keep saying it. That's all you got to do. Just keep saying it. Just say it over and over again. And this commentary is not about Sinful, nor do I care to hear about how you feel about pimping. This is about the overall social climate in this country and in others where the movement is to turn us all into predators of women and girls.
And how you avoided to get around not being a registered sex offender is beyond me. How you walked away from that, with just a slap on the wrist is beyond me.
Answer: she lied. And she lied so good that when she was arrested, she was placed in an adult facility. And we all know that they don't put minors in adult facilities. The girl was such a good liar and used to lie that she even had a good ID, good enough to state that she was an adult. And it took them 3 days to find out that she was somebody's child. Then they moved her into a juvenile facility. But I don't care. He was pimping the little girl. That's all I care about. He was pimping the little girl. See, that's what the clowns say. I don't care. You don't care about the facts. This is why the clowns keep saying that he ran to Canada, because that's what Sinful at right now. He's in Canada. This is why the clowns keep saying that he ran to Canada. It's because he has a warrant out for him concerning this matter. But that's not true either. But the thing is to just keep saying that. Just keep saying it. Just say it over and over again. He ran to Canada because he's trying to run away from his arrest warrant for not being a registered sex offender. Just keep saying it. People just keep saying that he ran to Canada to avoid this rape thing. And out of all the doxers on here, even the ones that's in the pimp genre, and there are a lot of them, they be doxing the hell out of each other. But none of them has shown that this man has a warrant out for his arrest. But just keep saying it. Well, he should have known. That's what the clowns will say. He should have known how old she was. See, that's what the clowns will say. That he should have saw that she was a kid. But I'm saying, now that 23 years old, he not. And me? My older eyes, yes. I don't care what kind of ID you got. I'm going to be able to spot right away that you're somebody's child, yeah. But 23-year-old eyes won't be as trained yet. That's how old he was at the time of the incident. But people expect for Sinful to be able to spot it, even though the cops nor the judge could. The cops saw the same ID Sinful saw and put her in an adult facility. Cops, regardless of their eyes, they had to go off the ID that the girl had. But maybe it was their older eyes Maybe their older eyes is what caused them to investigate her age. Maybe their eyes told them that she's maybe not as old as she says she was. I don't know. But has Sinful done that before? No. Has he done that since? No. But he is still categorized as someone who seeks children, despite all the evidence to the contrary. He's not being allowed to be tricked and hoodwinked and bamboozled or led astray. He was just supposed to know, even though it took other people 3 days to know it. He's pimping a little girl. But did he know that? No. But a person who's into children would know it and wouldn't care. Deliberately seek out children is what they do, but no one can demonstrate that Sinful does that. But the overall climate in this country and in other countries is this commentary's purpose and intent. The aim is to make us all dangerous and a threat to women and children. That's what they're up to. You have many, many people willing to help them against men and boys. Right here on social media, just helping, aiding and abetting. This is not just YouTube or just on YouTube. The movement is real. And let me say this. I'm going to get out of here. Let me say this. Do not come here and tell me how you feel about pimping. I don't want to hear it.